And he acknowledged, okay, this is about playoffs right now. Get a good spot for the playoffs and then focus on that.
We'll see if they can get a good spot here for the playoffs as we prepare for our first Battleground in this best-of-5 series. Diamond Skin will be looking to get their own victory here with Rosmeg and the boys, trying to find that consistency that was mentioned by Robodoba. Now, first pick for the Battleground is going to be Infernal Shrines by Diamond Skin, Dragonshire, and Volskaya to be banned out.
Dragonshire and Volskaya both banned in Infernal Shrines by Diamond Skin, so when we're talking about them, of course, there's very few battlegrounds where they are really strong. I would say their strongest battleground is actually Battlefield of Eternity. To me, it's maybe a bit surprising that we don't see Battlefield banned out. Volskaya seems to be just a map where Method says we don't want to play Volskaya, just period. Because just from looking at the track record that Diamond Skin has on any given map, Battlefield is the one that you want to get rid of. Every other map, they are usually struggling quite a lot. Diamond Skin has taken big victories against names like Fnatic and Dignaso, on the other hand, or played at least well there on Battlefield of Eternity. But Method just has that one thing where they're saying, Volskaya, not our thing.
Now, wondering about Genji when it comes to this matchup between these two teams. Obviously, Rosmeg great on Genji, Shrimpy as well. It's been a kind of a mainstay for Diamond Skin as late. Try to find that high mobile character for Rosmeg to play on, whether it's that Tracer or the Genji. He can shut down teams with the help of his teammate, obviously. But still, it's a real thorn in the side. If you take that away from them in the draft or pick it away, it feels like Diamond Skin crumbles pretty hard.
It's also a question how Phoenix is going to look in this series, since we have two teams that haven't played with Phoenix yet. So we've heard from Hazops, and we have seen it in the previous games, that Phoenix is struggling a lot in Europe. Then again, you have Korea talking about Phoenix and just saying, hey, he's super strong and very impactful. But yeah, in Europe, so far just not having a big impact. But how do Diamond Skin and Method value Phoenix? They had time to observe the games yesterday and today, but do they still believe that Phoenix gives value to the draft over other heroes? As for example, Hanzo, we heard Hazops talking about Hanzo as a priority over Phoenix.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of teams are very content with giving that Phoenix away as long as they get that Hanzo. We'll see how that draft pays off here as Method is thinking about their ban. Also wondering about that top lane when it comes to Ethereal. Will we see more Samuro today? Probably not on this Battleground, but one that he has been showcasing pretty often. And the thing is, someone else is playing Samuro is Nande on the opposing side.
Yeah, so Samuro is actually an interesting one, and we have both of the tanks banned away. Now, we talked about the impact that especially Robodoba has with Garrosh, so Method is taking him out immediately. But also, we've been talking about Phoenix a bit. Let's put some numbers to it. Currently, Phoenix has been played 9 times in Europe and has only won 3 out of those 9 games. So he's sitting at a 33% win ratio. Not really what you would say that's an OP hero. So a very different story from what we've seen reflected in Hero League, where we of course have less coordinated play, but at least on the pro level in Europe, Phoenix didn't have an impact whatsoever. But again, these are two teams that haven't shown any play yet since Phoenix has been allowed, so maybe they have a different take on it.
Method thinking about it. Nick could pick up that Phoenix. He's usually pretty solid when you put him on a hero that is in that range carrier role. But again, it's a matter of whether or not they want it.
Forget Tracer here as an early pick for them. Shrimpy on Tracer, that has been a go-to for them for a long time. But they start things off with Malfurion. Haven't really seen that much of a healer priority in quite a bit.
I mean, both tanks taken away, so it seems like Malfurion becomes their main priority. Hanzo and Sonya, the instant bite back from Diamond Skin.
Now, I'm still looking towards Tracer here, to be honest with you. When we're talking about Method, they have 8 wins with Tracer and 4 losses. That's a pretty good track record for them. It's actually one of their most successful heroes. And with Shrimpy having that high priority, usually on mobile, high skill ceiling heroes, it's something that you would expect here. But early Malfurion, but now with Malfurion taken, I mean, Tracer becomes even more attractive.
In my mind, I've already got the Tracer locked in here for Method. It seems like something they would really want to do. Granted, it is Infernal Shrine, somewhere you don't really excel too well with her, especially when it comes to the Shrine control. And they may have to contest really good Shrine control, because already you look at Diamond Skin and they have Sonya and Hanzo, which will do well on that point, especially if he wants to go in the explosive arrows at 4 instead of Scatter Arrow. It's going to be a Thrall.
It's Phoenix instead.
And Phoenix.
Thrall and Phoenix. So Method, even after all the games that we've seen so far, still saying, yeah, Phoenix is still the answer here. Very likely that we're going to see Shrimpy on the hero. And then, of course, that's the question. Is he the one who turns things around, who shows Europe how Phoenix has to be played to be successful in the current European meta? Because as we said before, I mean, if you just look at the stats of Phoenix in HGC Europe, you just would flat out say, yeah, hero sucks.
Not doing so well, but only a couple of teams so far.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, Shumpi might just have that edge case here where he shows where Phoenix is a complete beast. And we're still waiting on our tanks too, so there's still always that idea of moving into a large engage. ETC suddenly becomes a little bit more viable here with Johanna, Diablo, and Garospi and Bandao. Looks like we're taking away those tanks.
Yeah, exactly. The front line is already gone. It's really interesting to see priorities here as well. Thrall comes into the draft mostly from the rest that we've seen in the last 2 weeks, actually, including this one, on the second hand after the second ban phase. So very different draft priorities that we have in a lot of these instances now. For Method, it's going to be... I'm curious if they, for example, say that with this setup, they are playing a Tacita. Since Tacita has also the additional wave clear for the map.
Yeah.
So that would be pretty cool if they're just trying to focus on the objective. Then you have wave clear around... I mean, Thrall can poke a little bit with the Lightning. You have Phoenix, of course, has decent wave clear. Tacita, Malfurion can poke from the outside. And it would also mean that you need a heavy hit point tank. But as we've been saying, tanks have been one of the priority bans here.
Feeling like a Murden here for Diamond Skid.
Yeah.
Murden pairs well with Sonya, helps jump on a back line, and can also get out of the fight and leave Sonya do her own thing if things aren't going so well.
It's not only that, Mirrodin is also a hero that they played in the past, but we have the aggressive variation again with Nuburak taken. So not only Team Liquid starting to go a bit more down the Nuburak path, but also Diamond Skin. Is that going to be... That could backfire pretty quickly, to be honest.
The Nuburak pick?
Yeah, they're 0-3 right now with the Nuburak, and Nuburak and Sonya is usually very good to sustain herself through the shrine, but she needs someone else at her side that is hit point heavy, and the Nuburak just isn't that. Usually, as we heard, you try to be aggressive with the Nuburak, dive in deep, get the cocoon going, and blow a target up as soon as you possibly can. And the question still remains, can a Nuburak here pull that off?
Still, though, it seems like the bug is back for the weekend when it comes to a lot of our teams in Europe being picked pretty often. We'll see if Diamond Skin's able to pull off that coordination. I like the Uther pick here as well, just make sure that Sonya's good to go.
It's not the only bug that's back. Our UI bug is also still in play.
For 2 weeks, man. We'll see. We'll get it fixed soon.
Who needs heroics?
Rogues are overrated. I don't play with them. All right, let's see here. Fourth and fifth pick.
I have my R button removed from the keyboard to make it a little more challenging.
That's smart. That's a good play there.
Medivh over Tacita. Okay, I actually really like this. This leaves us with a question, though. Who's going to play Phoenix and who's going to play Medivh? Usually it's Shrimpy on Medivh, so I guess we can still expect that, and that would put Nick onto Phoenix, I assume.
And a good point here, too. Also, both the A and Z players playing as warriors against each other in this series. Wonder if that sparks a little rivalry or not. They used to be on team. They used to be teammates.
Yeah, we also have something else to consider here. What is different in North America when we're talking about Phoenix compared to Europe?
Planet Cracker.
Exactly. With the Mosh Pit, are we actually gonna see the NA Wombo combo style coming out of Method here?
Only if Brawl gets Sundering 2 and splits him in the middle, right in the middle of the Planet Cracker. That's what I want to see.
Oh, we have fantastic A synergy here, by the way.
Yeah.
If you get a good Mosh Pit going and then Thrall Sunders through it, there's zero value there. You can make the same play with a good ley line, with a Planet Cracker too. That would actually be... There's a lot that can go wrong here. Let's
Some
just
call
it
it anti-synergy. I call it maximum BM. That's what I go for.
Wait, you BM yourself?
Yeah, man.
Varian as the last pick. Okay, so again, that's actually... Huh.
So, Nuburak in the top lane? Varian? Well, Varian can
No,
sit in the top lane.
Varian usually holds the solo lane. Sonya is there.
Yeah.
So...
Wait, triple tank.
Yes.
Hanzo.
Yeah. Welcome to the thought process.
I was too busy thinking about more BM possibilities, honestly.
The best BM is still the Mana Mule, but you have to draft Abathur for that.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we have a triple tank. So this is interesting because we have a lot of CC that can now be stacked on Phoenix, and we've been talking about how he can actually be blown out pretty easily. But then again, if you have that much frontline, Thrall Earthquake becomes really good, and at the same time you have a lot of value for Malfurion with his roots because everybody needs to funnel through these chokes. And Phoenix ult is actually getting massive value here.
Shieldbreaker Leap? I'm not kidding. For Phoenix. You get it before his ward pops off, because it is a wind-up. You destroy his shields.
To be honest, that's not a dumb idea.
That's an amazing idea. Is that what's going down here? Is Diamond Skid about to pop the new hot?
You have to consider Medivh, though.
You do.
Medivh can ruin the play, but if they would go... I don't believe it until I see it. I still think it's going to be standard, but I would love if they go for a YOLO blow-up comp, tricked esports style, where they go into a leap and try to blow the target up. Gonna find out right now. Game number 1. Diamond Skin going up against Method, and I am ready for this one. Rostmek on Hanzo for Team Diamond Skin to the left side. Darkmog on Varian, the melee assassin. Wolf John Uther, Nanda on Sonya, and Robodoba on the Beetle.
On the right side in the red, Arcaner on ETC, Athuro on Thrall, Schwimpy on Medivh, Curson to play the Malfurion, and Nick on Phoenix. Now, we have a solution for the Medivh and the Force of Wills. A new Red Cocoon. Granted, he can stay in bird form, float around once they identify it, but this is a legitimate threat at level 10.
So, guys, we're talking about the potential that with the heavy frontline that Diamond Skin now has, we could actually see a leap on Sonya. It's a bit unlikely. We would still expect her to go into Wrath of the Berserker, but if all you're trying to do here is blow up a target, especially, of course, Nick on Phoenix, who has so far through the weekend suffered from the low hit point pool, then you can make arguments for Varian and Sonya jumping on the target and then the damage coming through and blowing it up. So Diamond Skin could go a bit crazy on us, would personally love to see it, but also we have to talk about Method. Their potential combos that they have. Phoenix on the North American side is played with Planet Cracker quite a bit. We have seen just yesterday plays around an ETC mosh pit with Planet Cracker, and with the setup that Method now has, they could try and go into this ult. At this point in time, Phoenix is struggling in Europe, heavily. 3 wins and 6 losses. Most teams are really starting to shy away from picking Phoenix, but maybe Method is now trying it with a bit of a different approach here.
We'll see if it's going to pay off for them. Their peel is amazing. I mean, you have the ability to knock back from ETC, so all in composition from Diamond Skin would be a bit hard to pull off. You already mentioned the Earthquake, and then of course you have Malfurion with the Twilight Dream to stop any type of synergy from popping off. But Diamond Skin also building into that single target DPS. Look at Hanzo here, moving into the Stormbow build already, looking to get that additional damage and also play pretty safe. A lot of this is going to come down to this front line for Diamond Skin.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, once we have Poke available, this is one of the things that can make it pretty hard for Diamond Skin to get any value. If they fall behind with this composition, it's oftentimes very tricky to find these kills. But Curson also doesn't have a cleanse. We still have Nature's Cure on 7, which is an important part, of course, of this. But you don't have the traditional cleanse that you really love against any kind of CC stacking composition.
I just want to fast forward to level 10 right now.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to skip it and I want to see what both teams take on 10.
Well, for control so far, Method doing their best here to make sure that they clear out these waves. Schwimpy doing his best to stay near his teammates, make sure no poke comes out. So far, looking into the quest, Hanzo right now hasn't even got 1 stack yet, but working on putting it out there. Should be getting pretty close. He's been hitting that Phoenix so much, and as well as that Malfurion.
There's also a few changes already with builds. On level 1, for example, we're seeing for Medivh the Portal Mastery now taken. Very rare in a pro level play in Europe at least. Usually we're having the additional Raven form talents taken. Raven Familiar still pretty traditional. And also when we're looking towards Phoenix, the Emergency Protocol taken on 4, the Advanced Targeting on level 1. No surprises on the Phoenix build, at least up to this point. Level 10 is where we might see a bit of a deviation for reasons pointed out earlier. Also, Darkmog didn't go into Little Blades. Instead, he went straight for Taunt as expected. So it's all about stacking that CC now.
Taunt available. Nande goes in for a spear. Wolf does get low on health, but if he falls, he can still fight here. And Nubrek on the side comes in to poke a little bit, but Nick is able to kite away and grab those shields, especially with the healing coming in from Curson. So a pick goes in favor of Method, and with the Shrine activating to the middle, Diamond Skin's going to try and grab a few so they can wait for Uther to get back.
Yeah, Diamond Skin should be back in time here to make this a pretty even fight, but of course the early lead for Diamond Skin right now. And that's mainly because of the camp that you pointed out taken to the bot lane. Medivh is still sitting there and has to deal with it, whereas we're seeing Diamond Skin put a bit of pressure onto Thrall at the bot lane, just buying time, but already getting a pretty sizable lead in the stacking process. 17-20 taken by them now, and that could definitely lead to the first Punisher taken by Method. But here comes the, sorry, by Diamond Skin, but here comes the engage as they're sliding in. Now we have the taunt against Schwimpy. He's in trouble, but so is Robodoba.
Should be able to get through here in the back left portal, drops in a couple of spears, and we're going to have the Varian fall. As he gets picked off and he's down for 15 seconds, Diamond Skin in a lead 28-16 in minion control. Can they snipe away a few of these minions? They do have Hanzo, but the range is what's hurting them right now. That triple melee comp not working out so far, and we're having Method catch up.
Wolfjaw is now taking apart too, and all of a sudden Method is just in there and just taking everyone down. Robodoba is also dying, and that is kill number 4 in favor of Method. They are everywhere, and Nick in particular is working in the damage, and at the same time also getting the splash onto the minions whenever he can. Sonya goes down 5 kills to 0. Method obliterating Diamond Skin. absolute humiliation what we are seeing here in the early game, as Method is just picking kills wherever they want them.
6 kills to 0, and they get the Punisher. Diamondskin hurting from that. 7 3/4, a full level gained because Method was able to grab those kills. Diamondskin was trying to finish off the Punisher. That was their main goal. That's why they had a few kills funnel in. So you knew that the idea behind it was, of course, to finish off the Punisher. They just couldn't pull it off. The portals made it way too difficult.
Yeah, super good position for Method now, nearly 2 levels ahead. And of course the Punisher is really helping out here. They're getting the front wall as well. 7 drops into the hands of Diamondskin, but this is rough going for them. And Method is just in the perfect position. So much momentum in their favor now.
Arcaner also working on that prog rock, getting a total of 13 out of 20 seconds. He is finishing that bad boy quick here. Going to be a nice little pseudo support for his team, being able to heal them up when that finishes. That middle fort went down to about half health, and Method already on their way towards level 10. They're in a supreme position. I'm wondering if Diamondskin might make a play here to try and get a kill.
And Nick the entire time has done really well. You couldn't really tell that the entire AoE damage that we see out of Phoenix when he switches into that mode is such a great tool to have on Infernal Shrines, just simply because you can get a massive amount of those minions immediately. And of course then switching back to the single target mode to drop the damage in on these individual kills. And that's what they were able to do. The combat advantage on level 7 now, the standard talent by now for Phoenix in Europe, trying to get the extra damage in for slow targets. That's again where Thrall with the Earthquake is going to be super important. The combo actually between Thrall and Phoenix has been played quite a bit.
Yeah, it seems to be pickup. It's not as iconic as Medivh Diablo, but it's definitely one that we're starting to see it pretty often here. 10 hits for Method. There goes the Mosh Pit.
Aww.
No Planet Cracker, unlucky.
So even with a complete setup where you can lock them down for an eternity, Method is simply saying NA lol and goes straight into the Purification Salvo.
Got the Earthquake coming out. Medivh waiting on his level 10 here. Might need a Polybomb, especially with so many melees in the opposing team, and there it is. Not fearing thinking about his heroic as well. We're going to have this fort taken down pretty quickly as Diamondskin is working on catching up with that 9 1/4 experience. They want to get to that 10, but Method is just currently running from this strong early game they've had with so many kills.
It's rough. It's really rough for Diamondskin. And it's another reason why I could absolutely see them going for YOLO mode. Just saying, boys, we're already so far behind.
Yeah.
Let's just YOLO it completely, because either it works out beautifully well and it's going to be a magnificent turnaround, or we're just going to fall behind even more. But again, it's more likely that Sonya is going into Wrath, and yes, that's what's happening here. So very, very standard talents to be taken by Diamondskin. So they simply believe in the triple front line here. We don't see any kind of shenanigans happening from their side. Nanda and Darkmog are protecting the camp that has been taken towards the top, trying to time it here. And Method is not really willing to funnel into that choke point just yet.
I'm disappointed, Caldor. I really wanted that leap combo. I feel like it could work, too. Especially at 13 with the Shield Breaker coming on.
I mean, it could work, but it's a risk. It's one of these high-risk, high-reward variations that you occasionally see. Tricked would have pulled it off. Trick would have gone for it. I mean, with all the judgments that we've seen from Trick Esports lately, you know that would have happened there. But here comes again a bit of a fight here. Robert at the front, and he is already in trouble. There comes a quick Earthquake, and that's the end of the bug. The Beetle is down, Anubarak dead, Darkmog on the run. Arcana slides through, and this is another kill. 8 kills against 0, and Rosmek is just trying to hide somewhere, but he can't do anything because Shrimpy is delivering the portals, goes in for the B-step, and that is kill number 9.
Kill number 9 to 0 of Diamondskin, 13 right around the corner, a shrine activating to the south. Everything is going well here for Method. That was a fight that was underneath their turrets. Kirsten was able to back up, drop down the root, get the catch on the Anubarak, and Method turned it around because they were just nearby. Great play by them.
We could see a keep fall.
Yeah?
I mean, you have the fort at the bot lane taken. You're about to hit level 13. 9 kills against 0. It's an Arcane Punisher.
And multiple melee for defense.
Yeah, it would be an insanely early keep, but there's a heavy chance that we are going to see a keep fall if Method wants to commit to a push.
I think at 13 we need to see aggression from Diamondskin. When the Shattering Throw comes online to break that shield, they got to try and force a fight. But right now, they're just trying to get at 13. They're 2 levels away. And they come down to defend bottom lane, especially with that keep being in trouble.
But it's so difficult with the melee heavy focus they have here.
Yep.
And there's the damage already coming in. That could be keep. Here comes the Punisher, gets baited in immediately. The Polybomb trying to buy a bit of time. Method tries to burn through the wall as quickly as they can. There comes the portal, the aggressive one. We see ETC moving in. He has the Mosh Pit available. He could use that. Keep is taking damage, but they're not committed completely. And they're not willing, even with the 13, to go deep for this one.
Great defense from Diamond honestly. Getting it over the wall. Polybomb got eaten. Made sure not to spread it too much. They spread out as well to make sure that ETC couldn't come in and get a 2 to 3 man mosh pit. And they defend.
Yeah, one of the problems that I really have with this now is that usually when you're playing a Varian, your biggest power spike is between level 4 and level 10. That's where you really start to excel. Especially around level 4, you're trying to pick up some kills because of taunt. But now, they are already this far behind and they haven't found a single kill yet. Finding those in the late game, when Varian traditionally falls off a bit more, is rough. It's even more tricky when Varian is in a main tank position, which is not the case here. But even in the spot where they're in right now with that triple front line, it's going to be dangerous and very difficult for them to find that kill and take it. They need to stack this perfectly, and I think that Method just has too many tools. The Earthquake, the ETC alone already, just simply trying to use Face Melt to create some space is going to make it very difficult for all those melee characters to converge on a single target.
Well, good news so far here. Hanzo will finish off target practice, has that quest finished up, a little bit more damage there on his Stormbow, so if he can land that, be good for him. And we'll see if he can land those fights with 13 about to hit. I'm really wanting to see Diamond Skin finally spike up that aggression and try to find a kill. May have to be a new Breck that forces it. He has the ability to burrow charge in thanks to the level 4 talent that he picks up, so he can get that range in, and then Varian falls up afterwards.
Yeah, I feel the ETC pick on the last slot was actually a very smart point here for Method as well.
Yeah.
Again, just simply having the ability from Arcana to continuously, with the synergy on 4 and 13 that we're seeing from him right now, with the pickup on the loudspeakers and the mic check, just getting that cooldown reduction and having the continuous face melt taken here creates so much space for your backline that it's, again, super tricky for Diamond Skin to drop anyone here. They could try and make the play against Arcana himself, but with Medivh being around, he can usually easily shield someone. But with the heavy melee front that Diamond Skin has, mic check alone gets such amazing value. You're basically guaranteed to get the cooldown reduction every time you try.
On to ETC, they're trying to get him before the portal duration expires, but Arcana is still able to get out, gets the armor, gets the heals, and he's just fine.
Yeah. And now, of course, the 16 is going to be the big play here.
Oh, man.
It's tricky. It's really difficult for Diamond Skin to do anything here. I mean, seriously, for me, it's really ETC with the mic check combo. Every single time you hit at least 2 targets with a face melt, you get a cooldown reduction of 6 seconds. If you're up against 3 melee, make it 4 if you consider Uther here, you are guaranteed to get that. So you have constant pushback against your opponent. And what is Diamond Skin going to do? Focus on ETC? That's Shrimpy's job, to make sure that he doesn't die. And also, if you get too close to him with everyone you have, then you have your mosh pit there. Diamond Skin could consider to use simply the cocoon to dive past him, but even that's tricky with the rest of the setup being there, especially around an Earthquake. So that engage, I'm not sure how Diamond Skin is going to make it work. But if they can get it, if they somehow jump onto Phoenix, jump onto Medivh, get the taunt off, they have at least the damage output to get that kill. But they need to get the angle, and that's where I see the biggest difficulty for them.
I mean, they're about to hit 15, so now they have to consider the possibility of just giving up this Punisher, and it looks like they are considering that. They would love to get 16 themselves. They have top lane pushing in, want to soak one more wave until they go back for defense. And as long as they bait this over into the keep wall, they should have a decent defense if they do what they did last time.
Yeah. I mean, outside of any compositional questions here, as you pointed out, the big problem for them is, of course, experience right now.
Yep.
You're so far behind in talents, that no matter what you do, you're going to have a tough time. And Method is currently just delaying the Frozen Punisher even a bit more. They have some time at the top. Sonya was actually hiding. They didn't catch up on that quite yet. But yeah, there's another push coming through the mid lane now, and that again is going to knock onto another keep wall, and they're already pushing aggressively forward to try and see if they can maybe open up that already slightly.
Diamond Skin's actually terrified they're going to lose a game here. They bring Sonya down for defense.
They should actually, I mean, the sidewall is already opened up, so you can jump on anybody here, and if you connect, there's the Wolf coming in. Can they maybe get a mosh pit going? Nice split from Diamond Skin, making sure that they have interrupts available, but that's the potential keep again. 16 talents against 13. That's the big problem that Diamond Skin is facing right now.
Punisher about to jump up pretty soon here. Polybomb comes out. Droba dances well enough to make sure no one gets hit by it. The Punisher goes in for a little bit of damage on top of Varian, and the keep starts to get focused by the rest of Method. They also put down a portal just to make sure that they'll be nice and safe, and the keep lives with 1 HP.
I am surprised that they didn't linger around a bit longer.
Just being careful, man.
I feel that they still can go in, and they do. They're going for Dartmok again. Ethereal still holds on to his ulti. Here comes the taunt. The immediate protection comes out. Medivh is keeping them there. Medivh himself could just simply fly in at some point and take it.
He may do so.
No, but they're pushing. They're not letting this one go. There's no reason for them. Once again, they go for Uther. Uther is completely isolated, and he goes down. Again, the silence. The arrow comes out. Cocoon also being used, but there comes Nick with the ult. He gets the salvo through. Good damage from him. And now, of course, they're obliterating the keep. They're trying to get more. They go for Dark Smoke. They drop Varian. Another double kill. 11 kills against 0. And Method is done with this. They're starting to go for the core here, completely ignoring the rest of the lineup of the Diamond Skin. But Diamond Skin might actually still be able to hold on to this. This is a pretty early core aggression.
Yeah, they're just trying to set up a gank on somebody. Nande on the bottom left was the target. Portal comes through, but Nande able to get away thanks to that Wrath. Rosmeg not so lucky though, as he gets soloed by Athero.
Yeah, everybody's just like, Athero, come on, we're leaving. I was like, no, I'm not done yet. Goes straight for Rosmeg and takes him down.
It's actually kind of big. No range. Robodoba portaled on. Burrow charges away. Attempting to live.
This is getting rough to watch.
Yeah, this is really hard. They're just kind of picking them apart.
Method is just doing whatever they want. And they're going back because they want extra experience to level their heroes up a little bit faster.
Trying to get towards that level 5 so you can play them in Hero League.
You have to take all the structures down.
Keep. Getting focused down to half health. Another portal up. Nande getting caught here. Still comes out.
They're trying. Here comes again the engage. Maybe now they're going for Phoenix. This could be it. But Warp is saving Nick once again. Robodoba on the way back. Cocoon has been used once more. Darkmog is still looking for a target. The arrow is not hitting anybody. Got dodged by the entire lineup of Method. Diamond Skin, they have their 16 here. They're trying, but 3-level disadvantage for them. The stat disadvantage alone is a problem. Arcana sliding through. Nick with a second ult in this fight gets the damage out. Not enough to drop a target, but Darkmog is so low that Phoenix can complete the job. He gets the kill, 13-0. They move on, drop the second keep, and now they're attempting to take down Robodoba again.
He's low. Does he have an impale for the knockup? He does, but he misses everybody. Diamond Skin comes in and gets the body blocks, gets the kills. Arcana even dropping down the mosh pit on accident. Gonna go straight for this core, and they are starting to shred through the shield. Now Hanzo doing his best here to poke where he can, and Sodi coming around for a wide flank. Can they land something?
20 any second. There's the kill against Uther. This is it. The core is falling. 15 kills to 0. As the core is about to fall, and Method, in convincing fashion, with a perfect game, take down Diamond Skin on Infernal Shrines.
I think you really nailed it on the head in that commentary. ETC, just a perfect pick there for stopping the multiple melees. He gets his disengage available. If he drops down that face melt, he's able to make sure that people are backing away from the fight. Really good control. And then, of course, you have Schwimpy. If there's ever a situation where someone might just be in trouble, which was rare, drops on Force of Will and gives him a portal.
I mean, the stats here are just insane. This is just brutal. 15 kills against 0, perfect game, 17 minutes, and that was insanely well done. The question is, how much is really because of composition, and how much is because maybe Method has found their stride again? Is that going to be it? It didn't sound like it from Schwimpy earlier on. He still felt, where are we? How good are we right now? It felt like they think they still need to find their identity as a team and how to play and how to make these things work. But this looked extremely clean.
I would say too, 6 kills on our first Punisher. Like, really difficult to pull off, especially when you can't steal away that Punisher. It feels like they're fighting from behind the entire time. Was the plan originally try to burn down Phoenix with a odd combo we mentioned, or did they have to change because they were so far behind? So many things that can't be answered here unless we actually saw them replay again, right, on that battleground with that composition. It was such a risky situation for Diamond Skin, and they just did not pull it off.
I guess Game 2 is going to tell us a lot of how this